Okay, alrighty, that was fun. I want to show you how cool some things could be, what we can do, what I normally do on the range, but not necessarily things that you have to do if you want to go out on the range and train. You don't need a rifle. You don't need a timer, 16.57 by the way. You don't need a Glock. You don't need a belt. You don't need cargo shorts, although I highly recommend them. All you need is just one simple gun, a couple of mags, some ammo, eyes and ears, of course, and that's it. Simple stock gun. This is a common new gun owner gun. A lot of gun shops in our area like to push this gun, the Springfield XD9. This was my first gun, actually, and we're just gonna go ahead and run it. This is not my favorite gun, not at all, but it is a gun that still works fine, shoots fine, and it's worth training with if this is the kind of gun that you have. Now, say you have a Glock, maybe you went for the popular option, Glock 19 or Glock 17, and you decided to go ahead get that instead of the Springfield or something else. They're all gonna work the same. It's a striker fire gun that has a slide on it, it has iron sights, and that's essentially what we're working with today. We're not working with red dots, no light mounted weapons or anything like that, no rifles. Just wanna show you what we can do with this. So I have 3 mags here. We're gonna have these mags and we're gonna put them in our pocket with a pointy side facing towards the groin front. And I'll explain why later. So we're gonna do some very simple drills, okay? You don't need steel. You don't even need a big old target stand. I'm actually gonna show you this. I'm gonna actually make this safe right now. And we can go ahead, go down range here. So I have what's called an IPSC or USPSA IPSC target. These are common targets to be shot at in ranges professionally or otherwise competitively, or just training, police, military, etc. However, you don't need this. All this is a piece of cardboard. That's it. Grab a piece of cardboard from your trash or from your neighbor's trash, or heck, go to the range, you'll probably find it in the trash there. Staple it to a couple of pieces of wood, mount it up. I have a target stand right here that is not absolutely necessary, but it's helpful. I got it pretty cheap on Amazon. Don't need that, there's a lot of DIY stuff. Almost forgot my mag from earlier. And there's a few different ways to stand this up. Very simple, you don't need to go ahead and even buy anything. You could really just mix it up with some wood or just stake it into the ground if it's possible. If you're in an indoor range, obviously they have paper holders where you can hang up the paper and you're good there. You may have to buy one of their targets. Sometimes they have dumb rules like that. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna be working with. I'm gonna move this a little bit closer here to start off with. Get a good idea. What we, right here. And I'm gonna show you some drills that I think are good fundamentals that you should work on if you wanna go ahead and go to the range and train purposeful training that isn't just, you know, messing around with guns, just shooting whatever, trying to shoot as fast as you can. At some point, you wanna get past that and you wanna get good. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a very simple drill. You don't need a holster for this. I do recommend at least have a place if you're going at a range like mine here at Route 66 in San Bernardino. Just make sure you have a place where you can safely place the gun down, make it safe by locking the slide back with no ammo in the chamber or no magazine in the grip. And then it's a safe position so that we can go down range whenever we need to. So let's go ahead and load up here. And we're gonna do something very, very simple. Let's say you've already done all your accuracy stuff and you wanna go ahead and get a little bit more of movement and gun manipulation drills in and stuff like that. So, and you don't have a holster yet. I highly recommend you do at some point, don't need it. So instead what we're gonna go ahead and start shooting from what's called a compressed ready or a low compressed ready. And there's a few different ways of doing this. You can go ahead, get a full grip on the gun first, and then just hold it down right here. Some people have it just like kind of a low ready instead of a compressed or full compressed with your grip. I like to go ahead and do this where I touch my thumbs, and that way when I go ahead and go out, I just had to angle my hand right here using my thumbs as the index, and then I get a nice firm grip on that right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Again, you could do it your own way, but all we're gonna do is just do a quick shot right there. We're gonna take our time, we're just getting used to this movement, and then eventually we'll speed things up. So let's go ahead and just do 3 shots real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, unload this gun, make it safe. It's now safe right here, faces down range, no rounds in, or magazines in the gun. Go down range here, and we're gonna mark our targets. So right here in the center, looks good, nice grouping, very nice. I don't shoot this gun very often, so I mean, we're not very far, but I'm still like, okay, cool. Okay, so we're marking our targets just so we know that what we are, what our shots are going. Because eventually you just keep riddling this with holes and you're not gonna know where your shot went because there's so many holes right there. So we've marked our first few shots and we know where our next shots are gonna land when that happens. Let's go ahead and just do this a little faster now. By the way, we're at about 7 yards here, which is kind of the standard for most self-defense training. 7 yards is, I guess, the common distance when a gun is used, etc. So, but yeah, 7 yards, about 15 feet. Let's go ahead and see if we can do this a little bit faster. Same movement. Okay, making the gun safe. That was 3 shots. Good to go down range, mark our targets, or mark our shots. Right here. So now we got a bit of a wider grouping here. And that's expected because we're shooting faster. And there's a few different things you could do. Of course, you could try to shoot faster, or you could try to push the target further. Try that. But let's go ahead, let's do something a little bit different now. We are instead going to load up here. Let's go ahead and do 2 shots now. So we're gonna do it twice this time. 2 quick shots. Compress ready, 2 shots on target. We're gonna do that twice. So it's also called double tapping. Okay? And the goal of this is to go ahead and see how fast we can shoot. It's called split times, time in between your shots, and stay as accurate as possible. All right, that was 2. Guns unloaded. Mark our shots. Now, I did this for the sake of time because I went ahead. Normally I would probably want to check every time I do these double taps so I know where. I know the first 2 were these 2, the second 2 were these 2. So I still have pretty good grouping, A zones, all except for 1 that was just outside. Okay. We have an empty mag, but that's okay because we have 2 other mags that are full. So let's go ahead and do a reload drill. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to load this guy up with 1 right there, just like that. So we have 1 round in the chamber. I'm going to put my empty mag in now. I'm going to go ahead, stage this in my pocket again. I have kind of deep pockets, which aren't ideal for this. Another thing you do is you can actually just put this on your belt line or loop if you don't have, a way to store it properly, and that works perfectly fine. Maybe if you grab it right. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 shot. It's then going to lock the slide back, and I'm going to quickly reload with a slide stop reload, which means I'm gonna push the slide stop down and it's gonna launch the slide forward. So I'm gonna show you exactly what that is. It's 2 shots, 1, reload, 1. Okay, so that was not very good. Go ahead, make safe. Let's go ahead and mark these. And you'll see, I'm not that experienced with that specific gun. So we got 2 C-zone shots right here. Also, you notice I fumbled with the reload, and that's mostly because, again, not too familiar with this gun. I usually shoot the Glock. And I was kind of expecting that mag to come out a little faster, but now I know. So let's go ahead, let's try that one more time. Now that I know, I'm right there. Make sure when you reload, you are slamming that mag in there. You're not gonna break the mag, you're not gonna break the gun. If you do, then you shouldn't be using that gun or mag. And we'll stage this for a reload again, right there. Compress ready. One C-zone again, but a slight improvement. I noticed that it got caught up on my shirt, and this is one of those things you would of course deal with if you are not using an actual belt. But again, everything could be trained out. All the kinks could be trained out. These are certain things that you can only do at some ranges, by the way. Always check the rules at your local range before doing anything. Some of the things we may be doing are not things you're allowed to do. Keep that in mind. Now, let's go ahead and use some movement. All right, so we're actually gonna go ahead, do some transitions now. Target transition, not weapon transitions. Go ahead, right there. We're gonna do 1, 1, okay? Compress ready again. Two A-zone hits, we'll do that again. All right, we're at 1A, 1C, one more time. Nice, perfect A's right there. And we'll do it, let's see. Ooh, okay, we got one round in the chamber. There's an opportunity for another reload drill. So I'm gonna stage this a little higher in my pocket, and then I'm gonna do a reload. So it's gonna be 1, reload 1, and we get a target transition in the middle of it. Okay. Notice the entire time I am facing my gun down range. For example, I'm not doing any of this, not doing this, not doing, hey guys, that was cool, huh? Muzzle discipline is really easy once you do the little bit amount of effort to go ahead and train yourself into it. There's a lot of you guys, I'm gonna stop right here. There's a lot of you guys on my personal Facebook page that I'm seeing, and you are, not being the safest people. And I see it very, very often. You know who you are. You know exactly who you are when you're waving that gun around. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I've seen you. Every one of you guys posting YouTube video or posting videos on Facebook of you shooting, I watch every single video. A lot of you guys are doing it. You know who you are, etc. Last little drill that we can do, hopefully at the range that you go to. Again, this one is Route 66 Shooting Sports Park in San Bernardino. Great range, love it. We're gonna go ahead, let's just do some movement. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna move from right there to right there. We're gonna go take one shot. No, I'll start from right there. We'll do one shot, close target, move right here, one shot, far target. We're just getting some movement in, okay? So I'm actually gonna go about right here, this guy, then that guy. And we're just gonna move very small amount, about 8 feet. All right, again, from compressed ready. Now remember, this whole time you're keeping your muzzle pointed in a safe direction, downrange, finger off the trigger when you're moving. So when I'm moving, I'm gonna have come around to this side of you real quick. When I'm moving, I have the gun up over basically my headlines. There's no worry about that. Finger off the trigger like this, okay? And then I go ahead and get back in position. Where are we at? Got a few more rounds left. And you know, we got 3 rounds, so we'll go ahead, end it with a, we'll move it 3 times. We'll go bam, bam, bam. Let's just do that. So we get much more lateral movement. So again, bam, run, bam, run back, bam. Got it? Got it. All right, cool. Guns unloaded, safe. Marker in hand. Okay. So we should have 2 shots here. We got 1 dead center right there and 1 C-zone right there, unfortunately. Again. But we have another A-zone on this side. So these are drills that I think are real simple, practical. You don't need much equipment. You don't even really need these stands. It's very minimal stuff, and I just want to go ahead and put this video out here for the reason to show people that you don't need this cool stuff to train. You don't need, all this gear and equipment to get better at shooting. You just need some ammo, you need your basic equipment, a gun, and a place to shoot. And a lot of these things you can do to an extent. Compress ready, double taps, reload drills at like at an indoor flat range, like Magnum range in the area. You can do some of that stuff. Again, check the rules. 'Cause sometimes they change it. Maybe it's different for every range. Just check that. And yeah, so some movement stuff obviously you can only do in an outdoor range like this, but it can be done. You don't need to invest all this gear. You have a gun. Get out there and train. You definitely should if you ever intend to use it. You're not going to be good at defending yourself with a gun unless you practice. So, yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And, yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, you made it all the way to the end of this, this video, which means one thing, is that you're very interested in shooting. And this was kind of probably a long video. So for you, the one who stayed at the very end, I have a little something special for you. I have a secret little gun Instagram that I haven't told anyone about. That is more advanced. It has a lot more shooting, and it's all about information and helping people train and get better. And I highly recommend you check that out. It's called Devon Tactical, and I'll be sure to write it on the screen right here. Check me out if you're interested. Again, if you got this far into the video, you probably are. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you on there and seeing some more advanced stuff. So yeah, again, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Bye, guys.